Hello, and welcome to another episode of The End of the Search. This one I call it, You Cannot Direct the Attention to What You Are. It's based on a question or a comment somebody made that it says in one of the videos, appreciate the way you share. There is fear of letting go of control because there's a belief that if I let go, then the desires for future outcomes for this body will not happen. There is fear that if I don't have these desires, then those outcomes will not happen and I will not be able to be happy with whatever appears. It makes perfect sense that I am not the above thoughts, body sensations that say there is fear, etc. And I am the space in which they appear. The same space in which body, all the senses appear. But the space itself is not visible, not feelable, not thinkable. I am the clarity in which all this confusion appears too, but this discomfort is not decreasing as I keep directing attention to this space that I am. Okay. Notice the trap here. The trap here is that you're still talking from the perspective of the you, of the seeming you that now is trying to direct the attention to the space-like. No, the space-like is what you are, you see? The you who seem to be sharing this information that claim to understand this is the obstacle to the space-like, you see? You don't direct the attention to the space-like. If anything, you withdraw the attention to the thoughts, to the mind. See, by withdrawing the attention to or from whatever is perceivable, withdrawing the attention is what allows you to recognize the fact that you are. You see? All this may make perfect sense intellectually, and you seem to understand that intellectually, but there's still the you who understand that intellectually, you see, who now is trying to draw or direct the attention to the space, so to speak, and that keep reinforcing that you who think that you are, which is a thought. You see? Right now, if you don't identify with the content of the mind, and here's the thing, if it seems as if it's you who's not identified with the content of the mind. You see, I'm not talking to you, but I'm pointing to the fact that if there's no identification with the thoughts, with the content of the mind, what remains? You see, what remains is what is the space-like or whatever, not call it anything. That is what remains. You see, it's not something you bring your attention to. It's just what remains. Now, you're talking about the feelings of discomfort. Feelings of discomfort are just feelings that appear in what is. But when you identify it as if there's you who's feeling those feelings, now you want the feelings to go away, and you hope that if you direct the attention to what is, the feelings will go away. This is not about feelings going away or not, or discomfort being there or not. This is not about that. It's the recognition, which is by no one, but again, I don't know what words to use, is the awareness that I am, and in the awareness that I am, everything is it's possible, you know. It's accepted, it's what is, you know. Feelings will come up, sensations come up, thoughts do come up. You see, all of that happens. Even the thought that you says over here that I am afraid that if I don't what is it says here, that if let go control, because there's a belief that if I let go, then the desires of future outcome for this body will not happen. These are thoughts. You see? Well, these thoughts are no different than the feelings of discomfort. They're both appearances in what is, and you are that. See? That's why this is not for you to understand, because the mind cannot understand this. The mind cannot get this, because the mind is the obstacle itself, the mind being a thought itself. You simply are. Can you say that you are not right now? Can you say really literally, I am not? And you know that you are. The sense of awareness, there's awareness. You're not aware of anything. Awareness is registering everything, and you are that awareness. Now let me ask you, is that awareness affected by any feelings, either discomforting feelings or pleasurable feelings, or is it affected by any thought? The awareness itself, which is in which you rest, it's kind of like being in the position of a witness, but still the witness is dualistic because there's the witness and what is being witnessed. But I'm trying to use language with its limitation to point to eventually to see that you are. Right now, you are. It's just pure beingness, and that's all there is. That which is pure awareness, in which those feelings and sensations appear, in which those thoughts and everything and all that you think you understand, in which everything that seems to appear, is that awareness is affected in any way by those feelings that you're talking about? Whether they're there or they're gone, it doesn't matter. But while there seems to be there, is that awareness affected by any of that? No. What seems as though the awareness is affected by it is not that the awareness is affected by it, is that the mind is identified with the thought that is judging the feeling based on the belief that I am this seeming individual, overlooking that I am awareness. And the moment the mind engages with that, that's when the feelings of discomfort becomes a problem. And I want to let go of them. And yes, if there's feelings of discomfort and something can be done about it, that's fine. We can do something about it. But there's an awareness that I am not doing anything about it. Doing something about it is what happens. You see? But you remain as you are. And the I am, which you remain as, is not affected by anything that seems to be happening in the world of appearances. It's not affected by any thought that may seem to appear in it. It's not affected by any feelings or sensations. It simply is. And this is why this always points to the silence. Again, silence is not the absence of noise, and it doesn't mean that you don't talk and there's no engagement or anything. Silence is simply a way of it's just being, in which, again, I have to use these words because I don't know what words to use, in which you're sort of like a witness of the experience. Even you're a witness or witnessing of the feeling happens. Witnessing of the experience happens. You see, it's being, again, it's a witnessing. It's a witnessing. You're sort of like a witness of the whole thing. You see? And as the witness, there's no need to direct the attention to anything. All we do is, if anything, is withdraw attention. That's it. We're not directing attention because there's still the sense of me directing an attention. Attention happens and it goes wherever it goes. It's just a withdrawal, so to speak, of it, so we can rest in what is. See? So you don't need to direct the attention to the space because there's still a you who seems to be doing something. And that you is the obstacle itself that is not allowing for the space-like, which is what is prior to that you, while that you, and after that you, to become obvious. So right now, this space-like is right now. While you seem to be listening to this video, the space-like remains. While feelings of discomfort or pleasure, it doesn't matter, it may seem to appear in it, the space-like is. And you don't have to draw your attention or direct your attention to the space-like. You just notice how your attention is being distracted with the feeling and with the thought that is judging the feelings and all of that. That's what you notice. Oh, look, the attention is going to the thought. Okay, so what happened if I don't believe the thoughts? If you don't believe the thoughts, you're not drawing the attention to the space-like. You are the space-like, which is no longer distraction by putting the attention onto the appearance. You see? When you don't identify with the content of the mind, again, you're not directing the attention to the space. You're simply totally open, because you are the space, is that the attention is not being drawn to a specific, which in this case would be the content of the mind. If a feeling appears, the attention doesn't go to the feeling. The attention is simply, when withdrawing the attention from it, all that there is the space, like you see. You don't have to direct the attention to the space. You are. The thing is that we're so identified because the attention has gone to the thought I individual that it seemed as though this is, it's a lot of work. It seems that way because every time I'm so used to direct the attention to the thoughts, the feelings, sensations, and the conditioning, that it appears as if though I have to go back and direct the attention to space. But no, all we're doing is constantly seeing how am I identified with the content of the mind, so that again we go back again to being. And this is where the words are tricky, because we're not going back to being. You are always being. You're seeing how there's a tendency to identify with the thought, you see, and that's fine. So we see the show, we see how the attention goes to the thought, and now we're being reminded that I am. See? And then once this becomes crystal clear, you just notice that you are, you see, and then all these questions and everything just immediately fall by the wayside, because they're no longer understanding, you see, because you said over here very beautifully, you understand I am the clarity in which all this confusion appears too, you see. And you said over here, it makes perfect sense that I am not the above thoughts, body sensations, that they say there is fear, etc. And I am the space in which they appear, absolutely. The same space in which body, all the senses appear, yes. But the space itself is not visible, not feelable, not thinkable, except perfectly. Conceptually, you could write a book about it, you see. But there's still the sense of you who's telling me this, you see. There's still a sense of you who's describing this. So that's the mind. And now, the way you bring that to the experience is by letting go of the conceptual and doing the investigation. And investigation is obvious. This is all that there is. This is not theory. This is not theoretical. Okay, right now. Just for a moment. If you don't identify with any thoughts, what remains? Don't let the mind trying to tell you what remains. I'm pointing to the fact that what remains is what is. What remains is I am. That is the space-like, you want to call it, but again, it's not a particular, it's not a thing, it's not something describable, it simply is. And now you're seeing how by habit we're used to overlook that space, because there's an immediate identification with the thoughts, with the feelings, my thoughts, look what's happening to me, look how I'm feeling, you see this I, and that's fine. We're not negating or suppressing anything here, because it wouldn't make any sense. We're learning to look. Okay, right now, are you not? See, you are. The mind is trying to get this, okay, I feel that I am. No, you are. You cannot not be. Try not to be. Come on, give it a shot. Try not to be. You see? You cannot not be. You have always been. It's only that you go to the mind, and the mind is telling you what this being is like, what it feels like, and tells you all the things that it knows about it. But in the end, there's nothing to say about this. It just simply is. And that's what you are. And you're resting in it right now. Even if a thought may appear, even if an uncomfortable or feeling appears, it doesn't matter, you still are. You see? That beingness is where this is pointing to. That's the freedom in which you rest. And if you want to use a word that many like, that's love. And well, this is what came through. I hope it served. And as always, may peace permeate the mind so that love can be extended.